So Nina, are you ready?
Yes. For me, sculpture can be really lots of things. Can be word, can be music, can be video, can be moving picture, and I don't know. So like everything what I build, you know, like mentally or physically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's how I see sculpture or feel. Because it's experiential art, so I'm trying to do like installations and some to take more mental space of an observer than to take a physical space as a sculpture.
Well, for me, noise is it's like one ingredient of the whole meal, so or one part of the spectrum of what sound or music can be, and it's quite extreme. It's like
Yes.
on the end of the scale, you know. But on the other, you would go completely extreme in a different direction, which could mean ideally is silence, but it's difficult to achieve.
Yes.
So what I'm interested in is to actually explore the whole scale of it.
Last goal was to have a place which one we can do what we want. When I say what we want, I mean in a creative way to explore ourselves in a field of music, art, literature. Like when I say art, I mean every kind of art. And then we spoke with Sena from Kino Bosna, and she was okay for to give us a place to do what we were planning to do. So in a way, this is the place where we act and where we did really lots of events, art events, and mostly people who are with who we are working are people from Bosnia and Herzegovina. They are young artists. So we were also doing art doing exhibitions in national galleries, museums, etc. But I don't know. Here is more exciting to do things. It's more, as you say, it's more alive. You know, there is many people who are coming to this what we do, and we have we maybe share more things.
More
Yes.
interaction.
Yes, when we are doing stuff here, because like in gallery you have the same public mostly, you know, people who are interested in art and stuff, and here you have people who just came to have a beer, and you include them in your work.
I think I was throughout my life. I was collecting very different moments, the experiences, situations, both working with people in different fields, and also just experience, and also the urge of me wanting to make music. But then again, I'm not in any way a traditional musician, but I still wanted to create that. I still had some pictures in my head of like very musical ideas, and then I was putting those things together. There was some years when I was just experimenting. I didn't really know what I'm gonna do with all those little particles flying around me. But then I also had this experience of experiencing sound as just, you know, like a sound of a fridge, like a or birds or a car passing by, and I was like, this is music. I mean, why not? This is music, you know. It's not necessary chords or, you know, like songs. And then I started recording things outside, like with a recording, you know, people making. You know, working on the street with like, you know, and I was like, oh, great. And then I started to play with electronics because I felt like this. I need to kind of find a way how I would include those sounds in and put it together. And then I started to use also electronics. I would always relate to my voice because I always was using my voice as, I mean, I always loved to sing, but I basically feel like voice is an instrument. Voice can be noise too, you know. I like to make like all sorts of different stuff, and so, but I also love melodies, so I want to have it all.
And what my first exhibition was about, I put people in I make a dark room and painted the gallery walls in black, and I invited people in that in the black gallery. So in a way they were present there, and they could not see each other. So like there was absence of body inside. So I don't know, like I don't know. Is body involved? I think it's more absence of body when I'm doing my stuff I want to do. That was what I was searching for, like to exhibit idea. At first, I was very obsessed by to try to exhibit nothing, and then I realized that you cannot exhibit nothing. That there is always something, you know. Yeah. So I exhibit darkness in a way, and a gallery space also, and people who were involved inside of the work. So for me, it's the whole package, as you say, like what is happening at the moment, like that, and how people are taking the work. Because my question was also, do we have an art piece inside ourselves, or is it divided from the person? So yes, the experience is very important in the work. I'm experimenting with video. I'm not very long inside of that field, and so like my latest work was more about my opinion of society, like, and so about marketing, capitalism, and some thema who I'm thinking about.
Because it is a certain kind of label, which as an artist try to run away from, because it is a little dangerous.
Yeah.
So I would say that you know, if I would call myself anything, I would call myself an artist.
Okay, cool.
And that means, but I am also a woman. For example, that's one of the many things I am, and then I do my art, and you know, and I work with my body, I work with my mind, and I work in a certain circumstances, in a certain times, with certain people, and I think what I am doing is acting out my you know, my ideas, and that is feminist in itself, in a way. But I would not call what I do a feminist art, because it is a certain label, you know. Yeah. So I would say what it is art, which contains, it's much broader, you know, and then the whole content of it, you know, can be about, you know, I'm taking my own stance. I'm talking as a woman in this place. So it is colored by itself. It has this dimension also, I believe, and also I dare to really work with it. You know, take stances from my own perspective. I mean, I think that if you do your thing, if you don't just follow what is, I mean, what is written for you culturally. Yes. If you dare to do your thing, I think that you act out the movement in itself. You act on it. You are involved. You participate. You change, because you also can be an example to other women to that you can do it. I mean, you
Sure.
go for it. I mean, you speak. You have your own voice, and you are participating, and you are influencing this world around
Yes.
you.
What we are having on the academy and in our society, in a way, of young people, that they are like, oh, I miss this, if I would have this, I would make this, etc. And so what we are doing here, we are using what we have. And like when you are using what you have, it gives you so many possibilities, and it grows. So for us, in a way, the manifest of Kolektiv Kreaktiva is to use what you have, you know, like not to have one more wish to have this or something else. It's to use the things which you find on the place. So in a way, maybe it is a bit site specific what we are doing, because also me as an artist, it's a big challenge for me to go somewhere and to use the things which I find on the place, and to make something good out of it.
Yeah, and this is also the way to respond to where you are. You know, like to say, okay, I'm in this room. I mean, I'm surrounded by this and this and this. You know,
Yes.
and if you ignore it, I think it's a little shame, because you are not fully here. You know, you are, if you respond to the things around you, to the space, to anybody around you. I
Yes.
mean, you participate much more. I think, you know, you make things alive, and I think that this is important to stay that, you know, not to just stay in your mind, but also be able to take like the very complete experience, which would be responding to what is around you.